I never would have dreamed that this would happen. And that is probably the moment my life changed. I met Marcel 46 years ago, and we met in Vancouver, where I had just moved. I had just landed a contract as a professional dancer for the Polaros Dance Company. So one of my friends said to me, he said, hey, I have a friend, a Canadian friend, who studied in France for 4 years and has moved back here and is looking for a place. His name is Marcel. He was a 6'4", very tall man. Sometimes he would do strange things, like look at flowers bloom like gardenias. Apparently they bloom very quickly and things like that. But I didn't pay too much attention to it. So after a few months of being a roommate, and we were also becoming good friends at this point, he says to me, I'm doing a project and I'm looking for volunteers to come do some buffoon theater. So I said, okay, well, you always talk to me about buffoon. What is it? Well, the minute he said to me grotesque, ugly, I completely turned off right away. I thought, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, I was 21. I was, a cute gay boy, and I wanted to be, I wanted to be pretty, and I was in dance to make beautiful lines. I didn't want to be ugly. It was kind of pretentious of me, but I said no. A few months later, he actually found people. So I said, well, I have to go see what the roommate is up to. So I rode my bicycle on top of Granville Island Bridge. It's a very high bridge. So I looked down and I saw this group of people all stuffed and hunchbacks and big bums, big boobs. I had never seen anything like it. It was very, very strange. And at the same time, they were all huddled together, smiling, a big smile and open eyes. And I thought, well, this is very, very weird. And they wouldn't move. They would be there for like at least 20 minutes. Nothing really made sense, but it was so hilarious that you'd cry from laughing, And then after it was all over, they'd huddle together and then they would skedaddle over to another part of the market and do it all over again. I thought, wow, this is so weird. And at the same time, I was a little bit troubled because I thought, why can't I just walk away from this? Okay, I saw what he did, It held me prisoner almost. So I approached him and said, okay, Marcel, I would like to try, what you do. So we did a lot of activities and wonderful things. And in the end of his career, he got sick. So the disease we're talking about is AIDS. And at that time, there was no cure. So he says to me, well, I don't know how long I will live. I go, well, I'm sure they will find something to help you, He goes, well, in case I don't, you continue the buffoon work I started. What was I going to say to him? No, I couldn't say no. So I said yes. It was the biggest lump in my throat. It hurt so much. And I didn't want to show him, but it was very, very painful. He died 14 months later. And I was 27 years old at the time and didn't really feel like I had the skills he had to fill in those big shoes, And the minute I entered into the studio, it's as if Marcel came back from the dead, unzipped my body and crawled inside, because the words that were coming out of my mouth, they were not my words. Continue his legacy is probably the biggest gift I have ever received. I was a pretty insecure young guy, and he gave me the strength I needed, not just as a buffoon teacher, but for life. That's another gift he gave me.